Pink Idol Boy. Things that I like to do. I like to sing. I like reading things about boys kissing. I like a whole lot of different things. I like cute mascot characters. I'm very bubbly and I'm very fun. And you can find me at Otoharu Riyo, YouTube, Twitter, and then especially on Iriam US, which is a brand new YouTubing app here in America that has just very recently launched. It's been super popular in Japan for about the past 6 years, but it very recently just came over to America, and it's a really great opportunity for people that, I think that's something that's kind of overlooked about it, is that people imagine the only way that you can get into streaming and VTubing is if you have a nice fancy computer or if you have all this equipment, and that stuff's really expensive. But through Iriam, it really gives you the opportunity to start your streaming journey, seeing if you even like it, just with only using your phone. And that's something that's really, really awesome about Iriam, is that it's opening up accessibility for people that want to become VTubers. And that's why I'm here today.
Fun! Yeah, I didn't know that, so it's good to know. So I'll just be asking more questions. So if for anyone who's unfamiliar with VTuber, can you describe what they are?
So I'd say that a VTuber is really like any other typical streamer. A lot of VTubers will just play games. Some of them do art streams. Some of them even do just like craft streams. They'll do hand cams. There's all sorts of different varieties of streaming. If you can think about like a YouTuber that you like and just think about the content that that YouTuber does, it's very similar to what a VTuber can possibly do. The only thing is that we do it through this like virtual medium. So you don't have to get dressed. You don't have to put your makeup on. You don't have to do anything like that. And you can just have a character that represents you. A lot of people use their character to represent like a true form of themselves that they can't really express in their daily life. So that's something that's really neat, and it's a very fun and expressive part about VTubing. But it's at the end of the day, it's really just content creating. And if you have a passion for it, you should definitely give it a shot.
Fun! Thank you so much. That's such a great answer. I love it. So detailed too. It's great. And why did you decide to become a streamer, and what's your goals for the future as a streamer?
I've been actually, so before I joined in with Iriam, I have been streaming for 4 years. But outside of that, I actually been performing at like anime conventions and everything since 2005. So I've been in kind of the industry for a really, really, really long time. And for me, it's just something that I kind of grew up around, and I didn't really know anything else. All I knew is that whenever VTubers started becoming more popular in 2020, naturally because of COVID, everyone was staying at home, and people that were creators already still wanted to have a medium to connect with their audiences and make new memories with new people that they haven't had the opportunity to meet yet. That was something that was really, really, really appealing to me. So that's kind of why I became a VTuber. Of course, Iriam was really, really appealing to me because I truly feel like it's such a game changer within the industry, because as I mentioned before, it really does provide so much accessibility for people that may have not had the money, the art skills to do everything themselves. If they didn't have the money, just a whole lot of things like that. So that's why I started. But prior, hold on, what was the rest of the question?
You're good.
I can remember it.
Okay. Trust, you got this.
I can't remember it. I'm stupid. Wait.
So I just said, what are your future goals as a streamer?
My goals.
Yes.
There we go. Okay, my goals. For me, and there's a lot of moving parts whenever you're working as a streamer. A lot of things behind the scenes that a lot of people won't see. For example, like for me, this is kind of hush hush. I'm working on my first original song as well, and that's a big goal that I've always wanted to do. And another goal of mine was to like hold meet and greets and be able to meet people face to face, because it really brings communities together, I think, and that's really my main goal at the end of the day, is just to assist in bringing communities together. There's not many places where people can find community with people that are similar to them anymore. So that's why events like obviously like Aniwaves is really, really crucial, especially because it's cost effective and it's great for people to meet new people, reconnect with old friends, things like that. But VTubing is another really great medium so you can meet new people, and depending on the streamer, if they're very active and really welcoming to community as well, it's a great avenue for people to find community somewhere. And I think that community is really, 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 really important for people, especially now when everyone's a little bit detached feeling from that kind of thing, or it's harder to meet friends and things. So I think that finding community, and of course working on some of my own personal goals, is probably my main goal.
Oh, great. Thank you. Another question is, what's your favorite part about being a VTuber? I know you talked a lot about like the community in it. I just want to know a little bit more. Yeah, if you could tell us about that.
Yeah, so I think one of my favorite things, and this is a bit silly, is I my community is I didn't plan on it. I planned on just being like really cutesy and really fun the whole time, but it turns out everyone actually really prefers to bully me all the time. Um, which sucks. It sucks, but at the same time, I think it's a lot of fun, and it brings my viewers together more so because they all get to kind of dogpile on me together, and then they have that shared thing together, and I can take it. I've got thick skin, and I think it's fun too. So I really like the the push and pull dynamic that we have, because it makes us feel more close. If your fans feel that they can laugh along with you but also laugh at you, I think that it really shows that everyone's comfortable with one another, and I think that that's a really, really important thing about being a VTuber, is that you make your community feel comfortable with you as well, and that they don't have to like praise you as some like holy deity. I think it's important to get to know your community and care about your community as well.
Oh, thank you. That's a great answer, bro. Is there any part of being a VTuber you don't like or you find like slightly annoying? Is it just like, ugh, this? Hmm.
It's, I think that for me, because I have the tendency to overwork myself a little bit. And I think whenever you're first getting started, when you're first promoting yourself, whenever you're first putting yourself out there, first making content, you can really get into this total spiral of constantly working, and that can be, while it's all fun, it can also be a little bit detrimental because you're losing sleep, you're not taking care of yourself, you're kind of skipping meals and things like that because you're so dedicated to the grind of wanting to continue making things. But that's also just because you're so passionate about it. So sometimes my passion gets a hold of me and I end up not taking care of myself as much, which is a bit of a bummer at times because then I have to stop after I hit like a big wall and I'm not able to continue doing all these fun things because I'm sleep deprived of 3 days. But at the end of the day, as long as you're doing it because you love it, I mean, it's still not healthy, don't get me wrong, but as long as you love what you're doing, and I do, it's still kind of easy to look past those like negative peaks.
Mhm. I understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. As a student, I think we all here understand what it is to lose a couple nights of sleep for
Right,
something. Yeah.
right.
Whether I don't know
Those
about.
nights of sleep, eating the rotisserie chicken over the door sink,
Yes.
it's one of those
Yes.
nights.
Girl, not even. Probably the packs noodles on lukewarm water.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, yeah. So now we know you're an oh my god, I'm so sorry if I butcher this. An
You're
IRAM
okay.
US streamer, and just for our audience members who don't know, can you describe what that streaming platform is? I know you described a little bit about the
Mhm.
accessibility of it, and just tell us a little bit more about your experience with that and why you
Right.
chose to be use this platform as a streaming service. Yeah, service.
Absolutely. So Iriam, what it is, it's a mobile VTubing app. So it's all mobile, and it's just kind of, I guess for people who aren't familiar with like VTubing or I guess like any form of like really like anime content or really anything, the best way that I can describe it in the simplest terms is like TikTok Live, where you
Real.
just have, or like an Instagram Live or something, where you just have a creator that you like, and they can talk about plenty of different things. They can do word games. They can do just like a just chatting. They can do karaoke. You know, there's a whole lot of different things that you can do on the platform, and I think that that's one of the most fun things is that you can really experiment with what type of content you can do. Because Iriam, while you can like I guess technically play games and stuff, there isn't like a screen share function. So it's really just you and the live streamer. So it really pulls in this more community aspect because you really get to take the time rather than everyone sitting focusing on like a gameplay and talking about the game. You really get to talk about each other and each other's interests and things like that. And I think that that's really great for getting to know people. And I really, really, really admire that about Iriam, is that it gives people the room to talk about themselves and talk about things that other people really enjoy too, and really get to know one another. But of course, there's tons of other things that you can do on Iriam. I've done kazoo concerts on Iriam.
Oh.
You can read bad fan fiction and make a game out of it. You know, there's just so many. There's such a variety of ways to do it, and Iriam was such a big prolific thing over in Japan. I already knew going into it that I would be in safe hands. You know, there's no, oh well, there's this new thing. What if it steals our information or anything? Yeah, it's not gonna. You know, they're under like the same parent company as tons of like other Nintendo games that you can play on your phone. You know, it's such a trustworthy and passionate place for people to just dive into content creation if they're not wanting to spend $2,000 to $10,000 just getting a good setup for it. You know, it's a good place for people to explore themselves, explore community, explore creative ideas, and I think that that's why I wanted to continue on enjoying Iriam.
Oh, fun. Thank you. And then, what makes Irium different from traditional platforms such as like YouTube or Twitch? Can you tell us a little bit more?
So
Yeah.
Iriam, what Iriam is and what Iriam does that like places like YouTube and Twitch don't, is that Iriam has this. Obviously, there is not like a screen share function, so you won't be watching like gameplay, or else you won't see the 60 frame per second Valorant shooter. You know, like, you won't see all that. But something really fun about Iriam is that it has this really cool gifting function. And I know that probably sounds like, oh, great, I gotta spend money. But like, obviously, you don't have to. It's not necessary. But the gifts are really fun and they're really interactive with the streamers themselves because all of the gifts directly like correspond with the models as well. Something that's really fun is that I say a lot of kind of suspicious sounding things on stream, and whenever I do, the app has such low latency that everything is basically real time. So if I say something suspicious and a little strange, any viewer has the chance to throw in like a baseball bat and totally plummet me with it, you know? So they can beat me up with the baseball bat because I said something suspicious. And, you know, I then will react to it in real time. And it has this, it really creates like a new dynamic. Whereas there are plugins that you can add on YouTube and Twitch to have things that will react with you on your stream, VTubers and not VTubers alike. But this is already built into the platform. And that's I think that's something that's really cool. And not to mention, there's also such a delay on platforms like YouTube and Twitch whenever I do YouTube streams, because I do stream on YouTube as well, additionally. But I'll miss out on a lot of conversation because it's like 2 minutes delayed. I'll say one thing and I'm like sitting there waiting for everyone to laugh at the joke. And I'm like, oh no, I feel like a poor man at a comedy club and no one's laughing. But then like 2 minutes later, I've already moved on, but now everyone's already laughing at the joke. And I'm like, okay, the bit did land. I'm just super late to it, you know? So that's another awesome point that Iriam has that a lot of streaming platforms don't, is because you can really connect with everyone real time.
Oh, fun. Thank you so much for informing us and completely diverting from Irium and all of that. So I wanted to ask, who's your biggest creative inspiration and why?
Wow,
I know.
that's difficult.
It's a big question.
Difficult. Honestly, this is gonna sound probably a little bit strange, I honestly, I don't know if I have a creative inspiration. I think for me, because I have been a creator already for so long through live performances, and then VTubing, and then I was a professional musician for quite some time as well, and that was a whole different field as well. You know, there were so many creative outlets that I've already been in. I think for me, and I don't mean this to sound like or like a cocky type of thing, but I think my past self is what tries to inspire me because I always want to do better than what I had done previously. Every experience that I've had in the past is just a learning experience for the future. And I think being able to look back at things that I have done in the past and kind of take those and say, okay, what have I learned about this? What can I learn about this? What can I take from this? Is something that I think as any creator, we should really all look at. We shouldn't look to, obviously, shouldn't is a very, very, very big word. Not to say we shouldn't look at other creators for inspiration. I think that that's definitely beneficial. But I also think being able to take your own content and analyze that and find ways, really think to yourself, what are ways to grow, to change things up, to keep things fresh, that makes sense for you, is something that has really, really, really helped me moving forward.
Well, thank you. How are we on time?
We have like 3 minutes.
Okay, we got 3 minutes. I'll sneak in a little fun question for you here.
No problem.
So we know your favorite color is shrimp pink, and your fan emojis normally is a singing shrimp. So if you were to be an animal that was not a shrimp, what would you be?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think that a popular thing that people say is cat for me, simply because people really like to see me in cat ears. I think that my support system and my I guess fandom, I guess you could say, we're all a little bit. I want to be really nice to them, but they're never nice to me. So I'm going to say that they're all a little bit of a freak. So I think that they would like to see me as a cat boy forever.
Oh, so we'll settle on cat for that. Okay, thank you so much. This was amazing. I had so much fun interviewing you, and it's lovely to meet you.
Thank you so much for having me. Good luck with the rest of your interviews.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.